When I had the problem with Triathlon Australia, I let go of the sport actually completely, and then I really pursued another avenue of life. But Triathlon Japan gave me a call.
When I'm starting and I have a very high start number, maybe I feel more and more pressure every year because I'm still higher and higher.
It feels like you have endless time, and now when you get, well, a bit older and I made the step to Girona and I got injured, felt like it wasn't worth it maybe.
I thought it would be a college hobby. I thought it would be something I did for fun on my weekends for a couple years while I was in school. And surprise, it's kind of turned into my life.
Control if you're gonna race.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult like you said, but yeah, I try to be ready, and if the chance is there, I need to grab it with both hands. But on Sunday I have the possibility to race the relay, so for sure I know I'm racing this weekend, so that makes it a little bit easier to focus at least on a race, and let's hope I make the list for Saturday individually. Now I'm already doing triathlon for some time, but I actually started in 2017 I think, but very little because I was a swimmer and I played football, and at one moment I didn't really like playing football anymore. I wanted to pursue in an individual sport, but I wasn't good enough in swimming, so yeah, I wanted to try something where I could really maybe become good in.
It's so hard to get your hair in.
Yeah.
When I first graduated college and went full in triathlon, that was 2019, and it was one of my worst years. And then 2020 rolled around. We didn't have races, and at the end of the season, Hamburg World Champs happened, the one-day World Championships race. And I came here to this city, and I was so nervous, and probably racing out of fear, which is probably not the best way to go about a race. But I just went as absolute hard as I could, and a little ways into the bike, I found myself in the lead group. I remember looking around at the names on suits and being like, I've only ever seen these girls on the TV before. Here I am racing alongside them. I came 14th in that race. It was my first WTS finish, and since then it's just like Hamburg has had a special thing for me. I feel like I regularly come here and leave thinking like, okay, I can race with the best in the world, like I'm all in on this.
Hamburg means speed. It's a course where you need to be ready, to be in the front, pay attention to every day.
The sprint distance is really fun. I like going hard. I like just seeing what you can do on the run, and sometimes it doesn't get split up on the bike, so it just gives everyone a really fair chance, I think, to run hard. I'm excited for that too.
When I was 18, I already moved to the federation, what was in the south of the Netherlands. So that was 2-3 hours away from where I used to live. So that was, I think, yeah, the biggest step, because you go from living with your parents to living on your own and really pursuing the dream of living as an athlete.
The decision to commit fully to triathlon has been a evolving one. Like, it wasn't a one-time decision. Like, so I left college, and that was a really big decision point.
Yeah, when I joined the federation, I was young and didn't really matter that much. You just try to be better, and yeah, when you go from junior to elite, you have a lot of steps to take, but it's...
Am I continuing on to do more studies, or am I going full-time triathlon? And at that point, I was so in love with the idea of being an athlete and a full-time athlete, that once I kind of had that extra push from my academic advisors, like, hey, it's okay to take some years, go into sport, I was all in on that idea and so excited about it.
It feels like you have endless time, and now when you get, well, a bit older, and I made the step to Girona and I got injured, felt like it wasn't worth it maybe sometimes. Like, yeah, you make a step forward and you train really hard and you cannot show it in the races, which is, yeah, really difficult when you put everything into it. Yeah, sometimes I struggle with that it's being that serious now.
Buena suerte.
Gracias.
In Hamburg ein gern gesehener Gast, der hier schon gewonnen hat. Feuerapplaus für Nochmal dicken Applaus für Simon Hesselein. Race time. So wie in Berlin.
When I'm starting, I had maybe 4 or 5 years. I starting with my sisters and brothers. When I was very small, I still competing on the weekend, and I'm training with brothers and sisters. So yeah, I'm very lucky that I have a big family.
Triathlon Japan gave me a call because there was a new coach who was called Patrick Kelly. He's a Canadian, and he called me just to see whether I would be interested in potentially racing for Japan. Of course, there was no guarantee or anything like that.
I just kept telling myself to try and be ready to race. If there was that opportunity, I had to take it. First, I got a call from my Dutch mate, and I thought, maybe this is the chance of racing. But unfortunately, he said he forgot his goggles. So I had to pick them up, so I had a bit of a longer bike warm-up than necessary. But at least I could help him out. And then I got another call from the head coach, and he said, there is a possibility you race. And then I was on.
Athletes, you are now in the hands of the starter.
And it was always like in the back of my mind, how long is this going to be? Am I going to go back into academics at some point? And over the years, it's been a continual decision. It wasn't really like a one-time make or break. Okay, I'm in sport and you know, the other sides of my life are gone. It's still an ever-evolving choice. Even this past winter, I feel like I was recommitting. Okay, am I in this again for a couple more years, or are there other things in life that I want to do?
Maybe when I was on the cycling competition, I don't know like which year was it, but my mom also try like, okay, we try like triathlon or duathlon and aquathlon. So I was okay, I try.
And the reality is, like, I'm a pretty multi-dimensional person. Like, I do love many things other than triathlon. And I love giving myself all to triathlon, but it's always in the back of my mind, like, there's other things I want to do in this world and in this life as well. And when am I going to do that? And how am I going to be able to transition back into that from sport? Because at this point, I've now been fully time an athlete for many, many years. So it's scary and hard to think, will I be able to transition out of this? And like chase a big dream in another arena of the world.
To be absolutely honest, I mean, of course, with my mother's side being Japanese, I would go to Japan once a year just to see relatives and have attachment to that heritage to Japan from that perspective. However, I'd never lived in Japan, and I thought about it for a long time because obviously having been born and raised in Australia, there's a strong affinity with Australia. However, I believe that it was a really big opportunity both culturally to really find myself and find out where the Japanese culture is, like relative to myself, because I'd never experienced that before. So I took a really long shot.
Yeah, here we are. I'm doing triathlon, but also I'm still doing winter triathlon and swimming and cycling and running.
I'm an overthinker, probably. So yeah, I'm always contemplating like, okay, if I do short course for X number of years, and then I also have interest in racing long course. I have interest in going back into the academia world, and just trying to like figure out, okay, how are all of these timelines going to work?
Well, start of 2019, I moved to Japan and lived in Japan. Worked with Patrick Kelly during this period of time and basically immersed myself within the Japanese culture.
Of course, you always have certain goals you want to achieve in the sport, but I think for me the most important thing is that I did everything in my power to achieve those goals. And
yeah, I had to learn the language pretty much on the spot. Probably the best way to learn it because you can't communicate, you can't make friends. You're very secluded or isolated in a very foreign environment. I'm actually forever grateful for that opportunity because I learned more about myself and my mother, and I also competed now in 2 Olympic Games, so I'm representing Japan.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I did everything I could to achieve it, and maybe sometimes it's easier said than done because when you really prepare yourself for a race and you're not getting the result you wanted, it's really tough. But what I learned from my first Olympic Games was after the finish line that I saw so many people that I looked up to for years, and they were so emotional and sad about their race. And yeah, of course Olympics is a really big goal for me, but it's also one race every 4 years, and yeah, it's really difficult to deliver on that day.
I want represent my country not just on triathlon, but maybe in the future also in another sports.
And you want to be Slovakian Taylor Nip?
Yeah, for example, Taylor like inspiring me, like if it's possible, it is possible, like doing 2 sports.
missed a swim that I shouldn't have missed.
I saw I was at the end of the group and I jumped on the bike just in front of 2 other guys. I closed that gap.
Reasonably comfortable on the bike, and on the run I felt that if I had a bit more time, I think I could be back up at the top level.
Took my breath and went full for it to close to the front, and at the end of the first lap we came together and I was like, whoa, I'm quite dead, but I could recover and finish with a good run.
It's hard to see that when you finish so far back, but yeah, I think it's possible.
I'm happy with, I think, my swim. I executed the swim well. I think the one thing that I wanted to do well in this race was to maintain a good position on the bike course, and I really didn't execute there. Trying to make the race hard, like trying to be up with the front girls. There was a chance a break could have gone a couple times with just a couple girls, and I was really right there, getting dropped on the technical sections and then having to catch back up. And you burn so many matches doing that, so on the run I just didn't have the leg speed that I wanted to have. But I think I just burned a lot of matches doing all that in the first half, and then once the group came together I was pretty fried.
But I'm really happy to be there pushing on the bike. The thing is, probably was too much Then my energy on the run was a bit low, as I did a good first K, but later I was trying to manage all the race, and luckily, yeah, I had the final push. I'm really happy to be performing in these kind of races, and yeah, looking forward for more.
I train with Kenji 7 days a week, so yeah, that's someone I can always go to, or when I have questions or doubts, or I'm not feeling good. Especially when I was injured, he helped me mostly with the mental side of being injured, not able to race.
I strongly believe that triathletes really can't do so much without the right environment. You really do need a team around you, and that's why a concept like podium racing, which is really focusing on such a broad spectrum of athlete, from developing up to people who have produced amazing results, and this concept is really unique.
I've realized over the years, as I've made decisions that are big about what I'll do with life, I never really have any regrets, because there's a reason I make the decision, and I go all in with the decisions that I do make. So while I overthink it on the front end, what am I going to do? How many years am I going to do this for? How am I going to fit everything in life? On the back end, I've realized I rarely have regrets, because I'm living fully no matter what it is that I've chosen to do.